We've seen some memorable and shocking endings to football games recently. The last play of the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears has gone viral, with millions of views witnessing Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels chuck a 52-yard Hail Mary pass completion to Noah Brown to win the game. Sadly, Bears defensive back Tyreek Stevenson received the brunt of the criticism for this play, and rightfully so. But what exactly is the Hail Mary, and how did this desperate last chance and low percentage play ever get its divine name? Today, we take a look at the top 8 most memorable Hail Mary plays in football history. You don't believe which former NFL star and Heisman winner actually coined the name Hail Mary. It may surprise you. Before we get into the top 8 most memorable Hail Mary plays, let's take a look at what makes up a Hail Mary and how it even got started in the first place. Imagine for a second being in a crowded place, maybe leaving the stadium after the game, and you spot your favorite player like Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson leaving the stadium in a crowd full of people. You pull out your phone and you try to take a quick picture holding out your hand over the crowd and hoping to get a good pic before he races to his car and exits the team parking lot. Did you know that holding your camera above everyone's head hoping that you would capture the perfect image is called a Hail Mary shot? In fact, whenever someone simply gives up control in a desperate situation and calls upon God, his mother, or any of the saints, it's called a Hail Mary. Not to get too religious in the video, but you get the point. When it comes to football plays, it all started back in the 1970s, and former Heisman winner and Dallas Cowboys quarterback Roger Staubach. Staubach, a devout Catholic, found himself trailing the Minnesota Vikings in the 1975 NFL playoffs with only seconds left in the game. On 4th down, Staubach launched a prayer of a ball way in the air and towards the end zone and towards Cowboys wide receiver Drew Pearson. With all odds against him, Pearson made an amazing catch and walked right into the end zone to win the game and shocked the Minnesota crowd. Staubach said in an interview after the game that he just chucked the ball and closed his eyes and said a Hail Mary, and thus the Hail Mary play was born. So let's take a look at the top 8 Hail Mary plays of all time in the NFL. By the way, if you like this list of top NFL Hail Mary plays, let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see the best of college football Hail Mary plays. We want to hear from you, the viewers. Alright, so let's start with number 8 in that thriller of a game between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. In 2009, Brett Favre was back from his 32nd retirement and playing for the Minnesota Vikings. With all jokes aside, at 40 years old, Favre could still sling the ball around better than 2/3 of NFL quarterbacks almost half his age. This play against the 49ers was no different, as he throws a bullet to Greg Lewis at the back of the end zone to win the game for the Vikings. Coming in at number 7 on our list is the Fail Mary in Seattle. If you are new to our channel and haven't seen our video about the top 10 worst calls in NFL history, I highly recommend you take a look at that video after watching this one. This play makes that list as well. A wild ending that had replacement referees scratching their heads on how to call this Hail Mary play. Green Bay Packers fans are used to being on the winning side of Hail Mary plays, but in this case, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers defense didn't end up so lucky. On a last-second ditch to win the game, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson throws a 39-yard toss to the corner of the end zone with a jump ball allegedly caught simultaneously by Golden Tate and M.D. Jennings. The referees called it that it was a catch by the Seahawks for a touchdown and to win the game. Yes, this is a tainted play, and yes, this was a bad call. And yes, the replacement refs' bad officiating allowed the real refs to get back to work the following week, but this made the list because of the significance of the ref lockout. Who knows how long the referee strike would have gone if this Fail Mary didn't happen. And number 6 is a last-second play with 2 seconds left, with Atlanta needing a touchdown to beat the 49ers in a 1983 matchup. It's debatable if Falcons quarterback Steve Bartkowski had his eyes open even as he launched a high-flying ball in the direction of the end zone. The pass was well short of the goal line and landed at around the 3-yard line, but both Falcons and 49ers players kept the ball alive, only to have Billy White Shoes Johnson catch the ball and dive over the goal line for the touchdown. Now, in today's NFL, with all of the camera angles and zoom lenses, it's very possible this catch would be ruled down at the 1-yard line, but they didn't have instant replay in 1983, so the ref's decision on the field was final, and White Shoes Johnson put on a show after the touchdown with his signature celebration. Similar to the Seahawks Packers' Hail Mary, referee number 55 had a different call than referee number 58. Number 55 had him short at the 1 and marked it with his foot, but number 58 must have had money on the game because his arm shot straight up, signaling a touchdown. What made this play even crazier was White Shoes Johnson actually slipped and fell right before he caught the ball, and then had to find his way to get past 3 49ers defenders to get the touchdown. It was an amazing effort and an even better celebration. Coming in at the bottom of the top 5 is the first of Aaron Rodgers' Hail Mary plays. This one was during the 2016 NFC Wildcard playoffs at home against the Giants. Let's face it, Aaron Rodgers is the king of the Hail Mary play. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to respect his ability to get the ball high in the air and in his receivers' hands at the end of the half or the game to give them a miracle of a chance to pull off a major touchdown heading into halftime. This was no different. Rodgers heaved the ball over 56 yards to the back of the end zone, with the Giants knowing they needed to bat the ball down. But somehow, Randall Cobb sneaks by all of the defenders and catches the ball in bounds as he falls in the back of the end zone. Packers fans went nuts, and the Giants sideline is left stunned that Aaron Rodgers was able to do it again. The momentum stayed with the Packers in the second half, and they ended up winning the game 38-13. At number 4 is a play that put Kyler Murray on the map back in 2020. In a November 15th game against the Buffalo Bills, Kyler Murray threw up a 43-yard Hail Mary pass to DeAndre Hopkins, who caught it in a crowd of 3 Bills defenders to secure a 32-30 victory over the Bills. This play showcased Hopkins' incredible athleticism and confirmed the moment was not too big for Kyler Murray, whose fans have called this play Hail Murray in honor of his first NFL Hail Mary moment. At number 3 is another Aaron Rodgers moment, but this is the one that started the Hail Rodgers persona. The Mtown Miracle against the Detroit Lions was the first NFL Hail Mary for Rodgers, and ironically enough, the guy who caught the ball was another guy named Rodgers, who used to play at Cal too. Aaron Rodgers' pass to Richard Rodgers will go down as one of the longest and most dramatic Hail Mary completions in recent NFL history. Aaron Rodgers threw a miraculous 61-yard Hail Mary touchdown pass to tight end Richard Rodgers as time expired. The ball went just as high vertically in the air as it did towards the goal line, giving the Packers a 27-23 victory. The number 2 Hail Mary play on our list is an oldie but a goodie. If you remember the New Orleans Saints, and I mean the Saints from the pre-Drew Brees era, then you remember this heartbreak of a game against the brand new version of the Cleveland Browns in 1999. Cleveland lost their franchise to Baltimore, but their brand new expansion franchise was winless until Tim Couch threw a 56-yard Hail Mary pass to Kevin Johnson with no time left on the clock to beat the Saints 21-16. Oddly enough, the game was on Halloween and gave Cleveland their first franchise win as an expansion team. And finally, the number 1 Hail Mary play in the history of the NFL is actually 2 plays from the same game. And of course, they both involve Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I know some people may call this the Aaron Rodgers top Hail Mary plays, and I get that, but you have to take into consideration the impact these plays had on the overall season, especially this game against the Cardinals in the 2016 NFC Divisional Playoffs. In the first Hail Mary of the game, the Packers were pinned on their own 4-yard line and with less than a minute remaining. Rodgers connected with receiver Jeff Janis on a 60-yard bomb and got the ball to the Cardinals' 36-yard line. An amazing feat to keep the Packers in the game and set up the next improbable play. With just 5 seconds left in regulation, Rodgers and the Packers were still trailing the Cardinals and needed a touchdown to send the game into overtime. Rodgers used his mobility to scramble in the backfield to allow his receivers time to get into the end zone. Then he threw a 41-yard pass into the end zone and right into the hands of, you guessed it, Jeff Janis, who made a leaping catch over a crowd of Cardinals defenders, tying the game at 20 each and sending it to overtime. The Packers ultimately lost to the Arizona Cardinals in that overtime game, but how awesome was it to see not 1, but 2 Hail Mary passes in a single game with their season on the line. The Hail Mary play continues to excite football fans every year. We all know it is a high-stakes passing play with low probability, but when it connects, it makes for such a memorable moment and makes that game an instant classic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.